Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It's exactly 10 after 8 o'clock. Nice to be with you on this Monday morning. Lots to uncover, as I've just indicated earlier on. Our first interview is regarding the state of the province address, expectations, and more importantly, deliverables. Are they going to be able to deliver? And of course, we're talking about Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. Political analyst Sandile Swana is standing by to talk to us about the state of the province address. A very good morning to you, Sandile. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to you, Julie, and to your listeners.
Lovely to have you here once again. So obviously, high expectations. We all know that energy security is going to be top of Lesufi's SOPA. And I'm kind of wondering, what else is he going to unpack? Are we going to believe what he says, and do we expect deliverables? He is going to promise us a lot on SOPA this morning. We know that the national government has declared a state of disaster to deal with the energy crisis. And we also know that this will be top of his list. I'm just wondering, what can we expect? Is it just going to be lots more talking heads, a day for the ANC to just parade themselves in front of the public and try and show the public that they are in good leadership positions, they're strong leadership, and they will deliver? I'm not too sure. I'm pretty skeptical. Sandile, over to you.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Julie. I think we can take a step back and say, when Panyaza Lesufi took over power, one of the things that was very impressive that he did was to say he is setting aside the e-tolls, which have been a problem for the people of Gauteng for a very long time. It made me wonder what had stopped Makura from doing what Lesufi did in a matter of days, let alone how he is going to maneuver that back into our taxes and levy the money back in another way. That's another topic for another day. But the fact that he could move was very impressive. The second one is the issue that we are raising of energy. You will remember that the DA had already, for instance, in Johannesburg, in the city of Joburg, had already set up plans, which now the new municipality council has said that they have their own plans that are different from those ones. So on the issue of energy, I would sincerely expect that private sector has been ready to deliver solutions for some time. Those solutions might take 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to deliver, and they will not be 100%.
Are you there, Sandile? Sandile? Okay, I think Sandile is back with us. We've had a brief interruption. Sandile, can you hear me? Sandile, are you still there? Okay, we are going to take a break. Let's take a voice clip from Mahlengi Bengu Motsiri, the ANC national spokesperson. Let's hear what they have to say, and we'll try and get Sandile back again.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
Deadly earthquakes struck Turkey and Syria, leaving communities devastated and in dire need of assistance. Over 8,000 buildings and homes were reduced to rubble. Over 9,000 people have been confirmed dead, with hundreds of thousands seriously injured. Families and communities are in disarray as search and rescue operations continue day and night. Islamic relief teams are on the ground providing vital emergency relief to the affected communities. Your support enables us to provide food, medical care, and emergency shelter. Donate now and help us save lives. Visit www.islamic-relief.org.za.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
16 minutes after 8 o'clock, I did say that we were going to take a listen to a voice clip by Mahlengi Bengu Motsiri, ANC national spokesperson, regarding the ousting of Israeli delegation at the African Union Summit. But of course, he was trying to connect me up with our first guest, that's Sandile. So we'll take a listen to the voice clip a little later. Sandile, are you there? Welcome back, and I do hope you can hear me clearly this time.
Yes, thank you so much, Julie. So I was then saying, I hope the other part was here. Now we're coming to the issue of energy. Many companies that supply energy solutions are ready to provide those solutions, let alone the fact that it will take us 6 months, 18 months to get any solution. And the solution will not be 100% eradication of load shedding before 5 years is over. So basically, but there are solutions already. He has just got to shorten the period they take to take the price and everything, because that's what delays this project, the time it takes to negotiate. So I expect them to move on that successfully. And to achieve something, no matter how small, before the election. Bearing in mind that in any event, the ANC has established its brand and its name in the field of non-performance. Even when they perform, if they are supposed to achieve 100%, they will achieve 10%. So that is a given. And at the same time, they do want to start providing themselves as an attractive coalition partner. So they are going to lose them at in 2015. That is now a given. So they do want to do something that show that they are productive and they are repenting of past sins and they are changing their ways. Another thing that is there is the issue of lawlessness in Gauteng. They had succeeded in revamping, for instance, the CBD of Joburg. We already started to have 4-star and 5-star hotels, excellent facilities. Mapungubwe was them. Those places are starting to rot again. We're starting to see that they don't have a grip on land invasions. They don't have a grip on building hijacking. And the same Lesotho, when he took power, he set up a unit, I think he said 6,000 cops or something of the kind, that are special, dedicated to re-establishing law and order and making sure that the hijacking of buildings, land invasions, and all of that is brought to a halt. It seems to be stammering and stuttering and not getting on with it, but we will hear what he says about it today. Another general issue which is related to this one is crime itself, the issue of murder. I mean, somebody published statistics that the amount of people that have died in this short space of time in South Africa are more than the people that died in the Ukraine war. So the amount of crime that is there, it has reached to our nation at war or more. So those are the types of things. When it comes to the economy, remember that places like Soweto have had a negative economic growth rate. The black communities, Malaysia, El Dorado Park, and so on, The place where you see growth rate would be places like Randburg and so on. A few of the old white industrial areas are still the ones that are prospering. But Joburg and Gauteng as a whole is actually in a depressed state, and the African Development Bank has said that South Africa is going to drag the overall sub-Saharan growth trajectory down, the overall statistics. Although all the other countries are going up, South Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria are going down. And the engine of the startup economy is in Gauteng and more particularly in Joburg. And so we must hear Panyaza Lesufi saying how he's going to generate economic growth, how he's going to generate decent jobs for decent wages, and so on and so forth. So the economy is going to be a big part of the puzzle.
Absolutely. So we will be watching and listening very, very intently. Just to go back to the energy crisis, you have indicated that independent power producers are standing by. They have been on standby for a long time. They will then come into the market, or rather onto the market, and they will start, providing their services. But I should imagine it comes at a price, which also means that the needs of the poorer communities are going to have to be addressed. And Lesufi apparently has big plans to migrate the province's poorer people from the Eskom grid. How do you suppose he's going to do that?
Julie, we must not just think that the solution is about independent power producers. Let me make two examples of this. They are minor examples, but the level at which you are asking is at the individual household I want to be in. About more than 40 years ago, I was still at school attending St. Patrick's Roman Catholic School in the rural area of Lebode in the Eastern Cape. We were having hot water every day. That water came from a solar power system more than 40 years ago.
Wow.
In the village of Transkei, the village was called Dolu in the town of Lebode under the Roman Catholic Church. Where I live now in Krugersdorp in Maldersdrift, I don't have Eskom. I don't use Eskom at all. I still wash with hot water from the solar power system. I light my light with the solar power. I've promoted this idea to a local squatter camp, and the councillors here have chased me away like the dog for promoting this idea. However, it's an idea that I have more than 40 years experience in very humble circumstances, but very successful. So we must understand that you can actually lower your blood pressure and other things by putting your system on solar, and you can improve your quality of life substantially. So, and that is not about IPP. That can be done at the home level. You, Julie, with your family, working with Panyaza Lesufi, depending how his program is shaped, you can actually get off the Eskom grid, substantially get off the Eskom grid. The second part of the solution, which does not meet independent power producers, are batteries. So you can install batteries so that when there is power, it is stored in the batteries. When there's no power, you power your house with the batteries. That doesn't meet independent power producers. Another one that may not necessarily need independent power producers is that some of the cities in Gauteng had their own power stations. And you need just a group of engineers with proper funding to go back and resuscitate those power stations and generate power and supply the city. Then you have the various types of companies, Ford and others already have got very large plants, solar plants of their own for their own purposes, but they produce surpluses, which they can then make available to the various towns and cities and so on and so forth.
Sandile, let me come in here. Let me come in here and just make this comment, and then I have my final question for you as well. And the comment I have to make is that you make it sound very simple and very affordable. Is that in fact the case?
The issue of affordability is a political and economic decision. The cost, I think somebody calculated that the cost is more than 20 times. If you're without power, it costs you 20 times what you lose. It's more than that.
Okay.
So what you then say is that the SUFI has got to come with a program that makes it financially affordable for people to move into the other system. It's no longer negotiable anymore. The comrades have finished ESCOM. ESCOM is not there. Whether you like it or not, it's not there. So the only thing now is that we need clever engineers, prudent economists, and sharp accountants to come with highly affordable solutions. For instance, when the cell phone came at first, we could not afford it because there were car phones, there were all sorts of people then came with pay as you go. You can even buy for 5 rand or 10 rand. All sorts of schemes to make the thing affordable. And now even a grandmother has got a cell phone.
Okay, I did say my final question, but I have 2 more questions for you. I've been talking with economists and analysts like yourself for a long time about this issue, and I bring the issue up once again. What about if Eskom is privatized? Would that solve our energy crisis in the country? Question number 1. Question number 2 is, we do know that the DA has said that after taking power from the ruling party in 2024, they're very, very confident about this issue. They're confident that the ANC is not going to be in power post the 2024 elections. They are saying they would establish an intergovernmental task team to look into ways of reducing the number of blackouts currently experienced by the province and I guess the country. So number 1, is privatizing Eskom perhaps the answer to our problems, and your response to the DA statement?
The role of Eskom as a major piece of economic development cannot change and should not change. And it should be under the control of the state to expand the SADC economy as a whole. So Eskom has got a much bigger role than some private group of business people or a political party. Secondly, Eskom is budgeting to cater for electricity at an economic growth rate of about 1.88%. So if our GDP grows at 1.88%, that's the capacity that Eskom is building. But the NDP says on average, we must grow at 5.4, which roughly speaking, we need to grow 3 times the amount that Eskom. Eskom needs the capacity of electricity probably needs to cater for 3 times the growth rate that they are currently budgeting for. All of that space is space for Eskom to do more. It is space for IPPs to do more. It is space for private companies to do more. It is space for communities to do more, so that we can get about 6% GDP growth. Because we don't just want electricity to do nothing. This electricity must improve the productivity of the nation, improve education, improve all sorts of things. So it was at an infant stage. So the topic about privatization, non-privatization is not even relevant. And those people who can produce electricity privately can augment what is needed because we're at a third of what is needed. Right?
And the issue around the DA being very confident of coming into power in 2024, do you think that that is in fact going to happen?
Not necessarily. The DA is also making its own mistakes. What all of us are confident about is that the ANC is going to lose the majority in 2024. That we're confident about. Now, the ANC and the EFF and other so-called black parties, if you want to call them that, are coming together. And the basis of them coming together, partly maybe 50%, 60%, is because the DA rejected the EFF. So the PA and the EFF are now siding with the ANC. And the IFP is siding with the DA, but I don't think they can pull the numbers.
Okay. State of the province address today, expectations, deliverables, etc. What else are we expecting from the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi? Is he going to be able to deliver? Do you think his small wins up to now is instilling confidence in the province of Gauteng? And a short answer to that, if you don't mind, we do need to wrap up.
No. The problem Lesotho has, because everything, if we're honest, is driven by the economy. Every formal report produced by the government of Gauteng shows that over the past 15 years, since 2009, they have not been able to do anything to the economy. So the public has no confidence in him doing anything. He's got to prove himself. He can talk after proving himself.
Okay, that's where we leave it. Always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for your analysis on this matter. It is exactly 8:31 a.m. We're going to take a listen to a voice clip by Mahlengi Bengu Motsiri, ANC national spokesperson. This is regarding the ANC statement on the ousting of Israeli delegation at the African Union Summit. Thereafter, we'll be moving on with our discussions for the morning right here on News and Views on Salam Media.
African Union's ousting of Israeli representatives from the African Union Summit, presently underway in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. These occurred against